first. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are now doing our first scene in the new Technocracy Chronicle, Project Center Oslo. And today we are starting, and we're starting today with a quick scene where Rasmus Toft is today sitting in a cafe called the Royal Palace. It's a really tacky cafe, but it's cheap and it's sufficiently quiet that he can write. He can engage with his life's work, and he's currently working on some outlines for some future sci-fi novel projects. Uh, but while he does that, it's just a quiet day. While he does that, it's a quiet, normal day. Nothing out of the ordinary seems to be happening. But as he's typing on his keyboard, as he's tapping on his keyboard, suddenly everything makes sense. The whole world, like the nature of the entire world, just unravels in front of him. As he still types, as by rote almost, but he still types, and then he starts seeing that. Oh wait, oh wait, reality can be molded through science. Like it's all possible. It's all possible. I could, with just a few words, I can change minds all over the world. They could just be twisted to my will. I can move the elements around me. I can, basically, he just has the perfect epiphany. Like the technology he's describing in his sci-fi books is just with a grasp, just inches away from grasping them. Everything, like space, time, the mind, nature of the mind, even energy. They're all much more quantifiable and easier to understand than before. So it's a proper mechanist can easily manipulate the cosmos, and that's what you realize. Which, on the other hand, this event, which is a pretty major one, uh, makes energy reverberate through the world. So, you're probably in the area, like you're walking. You're probably for once outside when you're not doing your lab things, and you don't believe in superstitionist nonsense like, oh, you sense something, but your intuition tells you that something of a significant note probably has happened close to you, something related to the nature of inspired science. You get that impression. So you two are now free to act. You are just a few meters away from the cafe, like just cross the street and you can get to it. While Mark, you're now typing and practically capable of doing anything at this moment.
He like the first couple of moments after he realizes this, I was about to say Eric, fuck this. Rasmus just sits like staring into the screen, and then he tries some different things. He types like the waiter suddenly spilled his tray full of beer, and watches what happens.
Yeah, the waiter, yeah, spills the tray full of beer, and it's almost like if it's not that like time stops, but for you, practically speaking, you almost did, as you can just observe the beer just pouring down.
He sits as he sees that, his eyes widen, and he's not quite sure what to do with himself. But he goes on and says that pretty girl over at the next table suddenly turned and smiled at the author.
Yeah.
And I assume that's what happens. um, and suddenly, and then he just sits there and doesn't quite know what to do with himself again, because he seems to have a power that no one should be able to have, and he doesn't understand it. What he writes happens.
Well, while you do that, you suddenly get very inspired to continue to write. because you realize, oh, if I type it in this way and this way, people will be much more hooked by my next book. So
And he goes on to do exactly that, taking all the advantage of this that he definitely can, because he needs the breakthrough. So he suddenly gets an idea and starts typing furiously as fast as he can, as if he's trying to outrun something, which he probably is.
yeah, so that's you, as I said, you through your woman's intuition, you realize that yeah,
She has
there's
a Terminator style heads up display.
yeah, you have your term. You realize, okay, something is going on, and you can easily pinpoint that it's in that shitty looking cafe down the street from you. Now, how you choose to go about this is up to you.
Well, I kind of figured that she would not be heading out alone, considering that the streets of Oslo are considering that she's in the middle of Norway, in Oslo, in a big inner city, looking. Well, she's kind of a bit of a fish out of water, considering that she's a third-generation Asian American.
Or you would
She doesn't know the language, but she does have a mentor who I'm presuming does know the language, as well as several other ones.
but he's just not necessarily going to be there to walk you down the street every day.
Obviously, but imagine that she would have some way of getting in
Oh,
contact with him.
Phone, for example, like one of the most normal ones, and he has a communicator he's given you, so can reach him if he's in other areas. That makes it a little bit harder to reach him through normal cell phone.
Yeah, because to get to in contact with a gentleman such as Dr. Victor Garminder, it requires a means where you can't use your hands, because how archaic would that be?
That would be one thing. Anyway, so you can contact your mentor if you want. Call in some assistance. That would certainly be possible.
Yeah. She'll call them up on the codec, as it were.
Okay. Anyway,
it's not the actual name for it. It probably has a very long. I'm just calling it a codec just for the lols, but it'll probably have like a branded name by the syndicate or whatever.
You know how they are with the marketing departments and HR.
Yes.
Do all the things. Anyway, so yeah, it just only takes a few rings before you get the what is it? Like, it's not unfriendly, but it's like busy science things, kind of like just on the word of a breakthrough kind of voice that greets you on the end of it.
Hi, Dr. Garminder. Sorry to bother you, but I think I may have discovered a new burgeoning genius somewhere in the. Hang on.
And she kind of looks at one of the nearby road signs.
I can't pronounce this, but it's right down in the middle of Oslo, and it's quite close to the it's quite close to this cafe.
Good. Excellent. I knew you. Once again, proving that you have a fortuitous timing, if nothing else. Okay, excellent. I will see to that you will get the necessary arrangements are taken care of. And
Okay.
just don't keep an eye on the situation, will you? And hopefully, like, if there seems to be any reality deviants getting close, don't necessarily engage them. As I presume you aren't exactly well equipped at the moment to deal with such an issue by yourself. So yeah, just keep an eye out.
Hello, Doctor. Thank you. I'll talk to you if something else happens.
Yeah, see you around.
Be seeing you.
And she'll rather casually just head up to the cafe and take. Well, she'll kind of like look at the menu on the outside. Obviously, it's probably not.
It's yeah. Wait a second. Just as you do that, you will hear a ping on your phone, and you'll see that somehow remotely the phone has turned on its locator, so you can be much more easily tracked down.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the menu has an English section, so she can at least read it. That's something. The menu is mostly, it's very basic cafe stuff. Mostly sandwiches, one tiny burger menu, and a few salads and shit. But like you wouldn't really want to eat there. Is the impression you kind of get from the menu.
And everything is
Yeah.
expensive as fuck.
Yeah, your American
Yeah.
sensibilities. Why would you eat these things out?
Yeah, Mina's probably just going to look at this stuff, look at the price, and think, "Fuck."
Prices is like
Syndicate.
And she'll probably mentally think to herself, just what's going on with all this, with the syndicate here? Have they been sleeping on the job or something? But then she'll kind of like dismiss that idea out of hand because this is probably there's probably some sort of thing in design about this stuff. I mean, she does have like some idea of how finance works. She's not an expert, but she's got a high enough IQ to the point where she could likely think, okay, maybe they're doing this to try and get this, or maybe they're doing it to that. But there's no she doesn't have the enlightened science necessary to be able to create those kind of predictions. She can only speculate on the rather mundane knowledge that she has. But
So while you're doing this, you will see that into what Rasmus looks like, a Scandinavian boy sitting inside typing furiously away at his computer. If this was a cartoon, smoke would be getting up from the at this point.
So basically, it looks like this.
One second, I can't see. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
So hard away at this computer. I mean, that keyboard can't be long for this world because it's not only typing really hard; it's also typing really fast. It's also typing really hard, like just almost killing the poor thing.
I have another gift for that, but I'm not going to go search for that. But yeah, Mina's probably just going to, just kind of keep an eye on the guy, and if she has enough money, she'll try and order like a little sandwich or something like that, or a soft drink. She'd rather have Cola, but beggars can't be choosers when amongst the mundanes, amongst the masses.
So you get your cola and you pay. It's not thankfully the cola, while expensive, it's not so expensive that to start pulling your teeth out or something. So.
Yeah, it's not like Japan where a cola costs twice as much as it does in the UK here.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
But of course, Mina wouldn't know that because she's never actually been to her ancestral homeland.
Shame for the spray.
Shame for display.
Anyway, so
She'll have to remedy that sometime.
You got the cola. You see the guy typing. He's clearly different, and your intuition will keep telling you that this is probably the one. While you're standing there after you got your cola, while you realize that, you also get a quick text like, "Yep, on our way. Just don't start shit."
Yeah, and Mina will quickly send a text back. They look they seem okay. Recommend friendly approach first.
Okay. Now, I want Mina. You due to Rasmus' little predicament, he doesn't get to roll for this specifically. But I want you to roll me perception plus alertness.
Okay. Alright, see if I remember. 3 successes with that.
Yeah, 3 successes. You're going to notice that there's a movement, like a kind of noticeable movement outside on the rather quietish street, coming towards the restaurant. Seems to be a small group. Like they look a little too gangster, I have to say. Like 1950s gangster with like really bad leather jackets, and some of them have some very clear like Viking style tattoos on and shit, like their floor hammers and stuff. And they're like all like in like their 40s with really big beards and shit. If there's ever was like a violent biker gang, this looks like to be the case. And they're all kind of like walking towards the restaurant or the cafe rather. But
Yeah, Mina's probably going to take this as a sign that one of 2 things could be happening. But either way, she does think that maybe making initial contact with the subject, at least until the team can get here. And so yeah, she'll kind of like she'll try and subtly, if she can, try and look over the guy's shoulder to see what it is he's typing.
yeah, and what is it that he is typing?
Well, he's working on like he's desperately typing away at his latest story because he's been trying for a couple of weeks now to get it up and running, but he just can't seem to get the character outlines right. He can't seem to get the start of it just right, and it's frustrated him. But now he suddenly now he knows exactly what he wants to write, so he basically types as fast as he can to get as much down on paper while the spirit is still over him, so to speak.
Ooh, bad vernacular.
Oh, yeah, I just told that now.
Yeah. So you see him typing furiously away, and it's very eloquent, really. Like the way he's typing, like despite the immense speed, he's typing. It's not like an academic paper. It's still very readable, but it just flows very well on the screen, and you're kind of getting hooked on the concept, on the story concept. That you're really getting into this. Looks like might be a good read.
Yeah, that's definitely something that she would. Well, you're saying it's a sci-fi novel, right?
Yeah, this is sci-fi.
Does it involve aliens?
You know what? No, not this one.
Yeah, Mina probably.
Is it space sci-fi or like a whatever?
Kind of a. It's kind of a mix between I actually need to put this down on some paper so I can keep straight in my head what he's doing. But this particular story is kind of a. I mean, aliens are basically there as the silent antagonist that no one's seen but everyone's heard about. It's kind of a dystopian. No, it's not. It's kind of a utopian. We can do this if we just stick together and use science, kind of novel. But that'll be revealed later in the novel, not just at the beginning. All that basically is obvious now is that it's hard sci-fi, or at least as much as a person who isn't educated in the sciences can do it.
It's hard utopian sci-fi. Okay, you get that. Yeah. You get that from Lance, because he's not writing the story at the moment. He's even writing the outline and shit.
Yeah.
As you look over the stuff, you will see the gang of delinquents cross the road and start making their way towards the door.
Yeah, and probably Mina will probably this time she'll probably get a little bit closer to Rasmus, and she'll have to break the ice somehow, and because he's typing away furiously like an absolute madman, and wants to set the whole thing straight, she'll just kind of break the ice by just saying, and she has a quite obvious She's from Los Angeles, so her accent is Californian and whatnot. She'll say, "Geez, are you working with a solid state drive there? You're gonna burn out your keyboard by doing that. Like, seriously, calm down."
He looks like he seems to be in a trance that she snapped him out of, and he at first he looks a little bit annoyed, or he looks rather annoyed actually. But when he sees that she is cute, he like smiles and hi, yeah, I just really got focused there and need to put this down while I still remember it, you know.
Sorry. Sorry. I just saw that you were like typing away like crazy on that, and well, I know a little about computers, and well, can I see the model of that one? I mean, what is that? What's that? An Asus?
Yeah, it is. Sure. And he saves his work and turns the computer around so she can see it.
Oh, and she kind of looks, gives a kind of a solemn nod. She can probably tell the make, model, and everything like that, and she'll just.
Oh, I kind of see what you're going with there, but you can get some laptops with a solid state drive, and they only have like something like a couple hundred gigabytes of hard drive data. You can get the ones that are the best ones that are commercially available, the ones that have like 1 to 2 terabyte hard drive. I mean, you could go more, but this is.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Let's see. I'm just seeing if someone else joined. Okay, never mind. Please continue.
He tries to be he's torn because he really does want to talk to this girl, but he also really doesn't want to lose whatever flow he's on.
While you two are conversing, the door it's not kicked open. It's not that stereotypical, but the door is open pretty roughly, and the gang of what you now see are four, the four Viking biker men. They're coming in. They're looking down on what seems to be on parchment. One of them holds, and seems to be here. So two of them go over to the bar to get some beers, while the other ones are like surveying the situation, kind of looking around to see who's inside. And except for Rasmus, there's like a couple of old ladies sitting in like the corner playing bridge. So that's something. But that's a quiet place. So then when these like really big, kind of buff in a sort of like fatty buff men come in and start walking around, it's a bit noticeable. So, what do you do?
Well, if they're actually, well, Mina, for her part, she's probably gonna have to at least try and maintain the conversation with Rasmus. I mean, if they're not directly like trying to start anything with Rasmus, there's no reason to start anything with them.
Start anything, yeah.
We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah.
The only problem is, as they look around, they don't talk in English, unfortunately. So, like Rasmus does, because he's from roughly speaking the area. I seem to recall Rasmus is not a region, but
yeah,
being Scandinavian has its privileges.
Definitely, he can probably at least catch the gist of what they're saying, especially if it's the Bookmore they're talking.
Yeah, they're from the Oslo area, so they're like, around, they're like, oh yeah, I think it's that guy over there. I think it's that guy over there. Probably him. I don't know who the chick is, but well, cross that bridge when we have to. Keep under watch to see. Let's confirm if he is the one we're looking for or not.
As he hears that, Rasmus looks at the girl and gives her the kind of look that says, "Be cautious." And he himself tries to play it cool, because obviously he doesn't know exactly what's going on, but he does know that these guys were talking about the two of them, and that can't be good. So he basically goes on to try to steer the conversation, like, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I really like this computer. I got it a couple of years ago, and it served me well." All the kind of small talk that you would like do in that kind of situation. I've never been good at small talk myself, so.
That's the small talk. But while the small talk is happening, you're going to get ping on your phone again. Basically, if you look at it, it will say, "Oh, we're here in the next 5 minutes."
Yeah, Mina will just say, send a message in response, basically saying 10-4. Possible problem with the external force / adversary, whatever terminology is necessary.
Okay. So you're giving it some advance warning. That's something at least.
Yes.
The guys, in the meanwhile, have eventually seemed to decide, okay, now it's time to go over. So 2 of them are going to march over. Murphy's Law over there. Anyway, so the 2 guys are going to march over towards the 2 of you and be like, "Hey, nice day, isn't it?"
Does Mina actually see those tattoos and things like that on them?
Yeah,
Do they also have any insignia or anything like that on them?
What did you say? I didn't hear that part.
Do they have any insignia or anything like that? You said that they're kind of like a biker gang.
They don't really have any like when I say biker gang, it's kind of like would look like an old guard of a biker gang. But what they do have is they have a lot of like Norse iconography, like even the name you recognize. Like they have like the Mjolnir hammer and shit like that. And
Can I do an academics roll for that?
Yeah,
Or...
intelligence plus academics plus service purpose. Some of them also have upside down crosses. That shit.
Okay, 1 moment. 2 success, depending on the diff.
Yeah, you recognize. You know that Thorhammer is a normal symbol associated with Norse mythology and like shit like that. No, you don't have any like ideas of what it's associated with beyond like academically, like, oh yeah, no, it's with Thor. But beyond that, you have no real understanding of the meaning. And same with the upside down crosses. It's a common like thing in pop culture at least. But the implications beyond that's not really it's not really something you should take much of an interest in, to be honest. So
Right.
yeah, they're trying to engage in small talk and be like, yeah, nice day.
Rasmus looks at them and says, "Oh yeah, it's great. Can I help you?"
Yeah, we just noticed you're in the area, and you seem like you've had some bright ideas recently. So why don't you come along? He's stretching out his arm. He's going to grab you and grab you around your arm. Not unfriendly, it seems, but just like firm grip. Like, hey, come, I can take you somewhere.
Rasmus looks at them and goes, "You know what? I have some work that I need to finish here. So
yeah, you can finish your work over there. It's going to be quick. I promise you. Just come along. I noticed that you seem to be very passionate and excited about stuff.
Yeah, yes, I am. He says, my work is important to me. It's important not just to me.
You seem to realize that there's more between heaven and hell, so to speak.
I mean, from my position, heaven and hell is just stories that people tell each other to make each other behave. There is science and there's nothing, and that's it.
He's going to frown at that. And be like, get my point. So come on, I think you probably would need an explanation about some things. So, not to take away from your pretty friend here, but yeah, it's going to not grab you forcefully and try to get you up.
He tries to push push away. Like, hey, what are you doing? Don't grab me like that.
Yeah,
What
can
are
you
you on about?
You cannot do that. It's kind of being a bit of a jerk.
And yeah, her accent is really thick. Like it's obvious. If her appearance wasn't a good indicator that she's probably not Scandinavian.
Oh, there's lots of Asians around here, but maybe. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So
You're not wrong.
Probably not as many.
anyway,
All right.
so what was I say? So they're going to be like,
Well,
sorry, give me a second. I was just open message. Anyway, so he's going to be like, hey, he's how am I on your side? Two of the other guys seem to be in some kind of throaty, like not like a song and dance, but they're like waving their arms like rum 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 rum. Over there, it looks like complete nonsense. But for some reason, none of the staff or the people, the grandmother patrol who's playing bridge, seem to be noticing this obvious altercation starting to take place. And as a result, yeah, you can push him without an issue. It's not like that. How he's not grabbing you like for a fight, so you can push him off without issue.
Like, what's your problem, man? I'm just trying to sit here and work and have a conversation.
Just trust me. It's better that you get out now, so you can be told a few things and experience freedom rather than wait around. You will regret it if you do.
I didn't catch that last part, OC.
He said that, it's better that you come with us. We can tell you a lot of shit that you need to know, and it's better to do that now than to wait around because it's going to cost you your freedom, and you don't want to wait around. Essentially, what he says.
He looks at them and says, "Well, gentlemen, to be honest, the only ones who's trying to impede on my freedom is you guys."
Well, on your freedom, like we're not forcing you anywhere. Is that while this is going on, a big white van is starting to park outside.
By the way, would it be okay if I actually had my character start to arrive in the near future? Or?
Yeah, you will be arriving with this white van because you're one of the people sent out to help to get to do fresh meat in. So you will jump out of the van with a couple of citizens.
By the way, is it okay if I just go to the toilet dead quick? Something just came.
Yeah.
Right, I'll be literally 1 moment.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you have just arrived at the cafe known as Royal Palace. It looks like shit, but this is where the GPS has led you guys. You jump out with the driver. You're the only enlightened personnel who's come with this whole group, as they didn't want to make too much of a fuss since it was so quickly reported on apparently.
And I assume it's less that I have no real authority here so much as I'm just sitting back here manning the scanning equipment.
You're manning the scanning equipment, and you get to come outside and see, like you get to come and see the action. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you are worth more than one peasant. Let's put it that
way. Slightly.
You're slightly more than one peasant. So yeah, you come in. A few of the other guys coming in with you. They're citizens, not enlightened operatives, but they have some equipment with them.
Wait. So are these guys like undercover cops, effectively, or are they looking like they're paramilitary or something?
Yeah, they're dressed in civilian clothing. They're not coming in black, or yeah. But yeah, essentially that's their cover. Is that they're undercover cops.
How many of them?
Yeah, there are 5 of them.
How many of these people are we seeing in there?
Yeah, there's what you see is one woman who you recognize as being about it because she has the same supervisor as you do. So she is an iterator like you. You recognize her. You see this like Scandinavian dude, like who's just been pulled up and standing there looking to be in a confrontation with 2 of the 4 men. There seems to be 4 really big burly biker guys, while 2 of them are like waving their arms and making some kind of throaty song chant thing at the bar staff, who seem to be You know,
Not sure how to deal with it.
the bar staff seem to just not notice anything. They just seem to be going about doing shit.
Oh, so the bar people aren't even noticing these bikers?
Yeah, apparently not. They noticed them, or you don't know that, but they noticed them when they came in. But certainly none of the restaurants are paying attention except for them. So all of you can at this point roll perception plus awareness. But not you, Mark, because since you've just had an epiphany, you kind of noticed it already. You see that these people are twisting the minds of the other people around.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm basically chemistry dog right now.
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, your intuition is telling you that there's probably some kind of reality deviancy at work here. Maybe some weird shit is up with this.
Alright, and how long is backup going to be?
Backup's just arrived.
Alright, great.
Wait a second.
By the way, how much prep time would we have had? Like, matter of minutes, I'm guessing?
Matter of minutes.
Okay. You would have just quickly had a crate.
Mina did give them, like, when they said that they were a couple of minutes out, she did say, may have competition.
Yeah, so in the car, some of them are preparing. Grab those some equipment in case it's going to be a violent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, if we thought there was any possibility of deviancy going on in this neck of the woods, he would have had a certain crate thrown on the back of the van.
Yeah, we probably have a crate there too, but, sorry, open it immediately.
Oh, well, I'm not planning on opening it unless all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Really. I don't want the paperwork.
So anyway, as you all step inside, you and the 5 cops who are with you, you quickly take stock of the situation. And the 2 of the bikers who are not busy waving their arms, looking like idiots, are going to turn around and be like, "What the fuck is this? Hey, Rolf, you were supposed to." Ah, shit! One of them is going to put his hand into his pocket and withdraw, a rather bad and shoddy-looking revolver. Instead of getting up, like, stay back.
As soon as he sees the revolver, Rasmus stands up and goes, "Whoa! What the actual fuck?" And then he takes a step in front of Mina.
Already protecting girl. Anyway,
exactly.
Two of the men in civilian clothing are going to lift up their their arms. That seems to be enough, and they're going to be like, "Stand down. No reason to have a violent confrontation here." So, but they're clearly sort of deferring to you. So, how do you want to approach this?
Are they?
Sorry. Are we going to have an order of what each individual person's going to do?
We haven't started a combat, so there's no reason for you to do that.
Right, so it's pretty much like jump whoever.
Are you going to jump people?
No, I didn't mean literally jump. I mean, whoever wants to do anything can just jump in and say whatever they want.
Yeah, so since they're kind of letting you talk, so say what you want to say, man.
No, let Sol say what he wants.
That's exactly what I said. I said basically the men are kind of waiting for him to take the negotiating role here.
Right. Well, I was going to say, for Mina's part, if you'll let me, considering that this whole confrontation started, look, she presumably would have noticed that the cavalry had arrived. These guys were still. Can I finish? Yeah. Everyone here, all these bikers or whatever, they were getting ready to do something. I would have anticipated. I would have had. I think Mina would have if it was possible. I would have liked her to have used a. I'm not sure if correspondence and forces would be the idea. Basically, it's kind of like a speed. It's a speed science role to basically get an idea. Right, these guys are there, and basically, she wants to, at the right moment, which in this case turned out to be them drawing out a revolver. Basically, with her measly dice pool, have a better chance of hitting and gaining enough levels of damage success to promptly disarm them. Or
what instrument would be using to do this?
Martial arts.
Martial arts. Okay, that's one of your instruments. So you're trying to like basically just quickly try and identify the situation. Okay, that's fine. I have to now look up. Usually technocrats on fast cast, but when it's simple stuff like this, it's possible.
By the way, I'm just trying to clarify. There are
Yep.
some four.
The four
of
bikers.
these
Yeah.
Four bikers. Have they drawn weapons?
One of them just drew a revolver and is pointing at the crowd, pointing at the cavalry. The cavalry is basically two of the cavalry is lifted up their just arms in response to this, and they've said like stand down, and they're kind of one of them nodded to you and be like, yeah, you're the opposite. Talk.
Oh, okay then. All right, I'll wait for Jason to finish, but then I'll do something.
Yeah, just give me a second. It's sort of just for a couple of minutes because I keep forgetting what's the penalty for doing fast cast again.
It's not so much there's a penalty for fast casting; it has more to do with if it's not a rote on your sheet, then it's supposed to be technically
it's not a rote.
+1.
Yeah, okay, it's dead +1. So yeah, this would be, I presume, a forces 1 corresponds 1 effect. So yeah, it would be it's coincidental since you're not doing anything. Yeah, it's a coincidental thing. Just roll your arete. Difficulty is your level +3 +1, so +4.
Well, 3. It's 3 +1 for if it's coincidental. It's 3 plus highest sphere. That's 1 +1 because it's not a row.
Yeah, exactly. It's a +4.
So, no, that'd be diff 5.
Yeah, I said +4. I didn't mean 4. Literally.
I'm confused. Never mind.
Yeah, let the storyteller decide.
No, I said its difficulty is 5. It's just I worded it in a manner that confused it. Yeah, difficulty is 5 for this roll.
Yikes. Oh, sorry. I should have said I was spending will for this one. But yeah,
I'm not really making a habit out of saying that after the fact, but okay, this time it goes. So you get
all right.
You get 2 successes.
Okay, and right, what do I roll now?
Well, you basically did this to prepare in case a fight started, right? So you could.
Yeah.
Well, this will give you a -1 difficulty to martial art, punch fisticuffs. Yeah. So if you want to attack, that's up to you. You don't necessarily have to attack, but you can.
Have any of you guys prepared backup characters? Because I haven't.
Shouldn't need it.
It's not so much a case that it's not so much a case of that. It's just a case of Mina just. I'm presuming that the guy with the gun, well, everyone, all these burly guys, are busy looking at the backup. The big burly backup rather than the small Asian girl.
One of them is looking at the two of you, actually. The other one is pointing gun. The 2 other people are now sort of trying to look at the backup. But yeah, but the other guy is not really paying that much attention. It's just kind of like keeping an eye on you.
All right, so just for clarity, because I didn't get any of that.
You're standing next to the guy who's not paying attention to you, who is the guy with the revolver. The other guy is halfway paying attention.
All right, so just for clarity, once again, the guy with the gun is close to Mina, and they aren't paying attention to her.
He's not paying any attention to you. He's staring at the back.
All right, good. That's all I needed to know. All right. Yeah, she's just gonna try and. Yeah, she's still gonna kind of wait. I think she'll kind of wait for the time being, just to see what the backup does.
Yeah. So
because if they're going to be the worst backup ever, she may not bother trying.
Yeah. Well, okay. So while that's going on, you kind of been like not pushed into this, but you're basically been like, yeah, you talk to the weird dudes.
Okay, so there's myself and a couple undercover cops, effectively, though they're basically union personnel. I assume they're armed, but they are unlatent personnel. Are they armed with consensus viable weaponry, not super shit?
Yeah, they are armed with consensus viable weaponry, but of course it's beyond normal weaponry.
Oh yeah, it's highly accurate, good quality shit. Okay. And these guys are, I don't have any prime sight or anything like that up, so I don't know that they're doing anything funky. But it is kind of weird that okay, actually it's a really good question. Are the waiting staff noticing the gun drawn and so on?
No, they're not noticing anything. It seems like just within like basically the cafe is separated into two sections, from the front door and over to the left, over to the right where you guys are, plus I mean everyone, and then it's over to the left where the bar staff and the old women are. So there's neatly separated. It just seems that they don't notice anything beyond the counter essentially.
Okay. And are they actually saying anything, or are they just literally just pointing the gun and looking aggressive?
One of them was, yeah, fuck off, essentially, was the only thing he really said. Pointed the gun, looking aggressive. The two other people are very busy, like, looking like complete maniacs, doing, like, the...
Complete maniacs? But...
They look like idiots, because they're standing around doing, like, a throaty, like, chant thing while dancing in the middle of a cafe.
Oh, so while he's standing in front of Mina with like in kind of a protective stance, Rasmus looked over at the two stoners in the corner and goes, "What the fuck is up with these guys? And who are you? And what do you want with me? And why have you drawn a fucking gun in here?"
Well, the guy with the roller is going to like. No, he's not going to look over because he's still pointing the roller. Like, trust me, kid, you don't want these guys to take you. So back away, black hats. He says, and he's just pointing the revolver right here.
Okay, so I have a thing on my sheet called intimidation. Now, if you're being subtle about intimidation, like not like just flexing your muscles, that's manipulation, right?
Yeah, that's manipulation.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow today.
The way I do intimidation, just because the difference between games. If you're yelling and screaming at someone, charisma, right? If you're giving overt threats, then being subtle-ish about this, then manipulation. And if you're flexing and breaking shit with your hands, it's strength. Just so you guys know.
Okay, that's entirely rational. Okay. Yeah. In that case, gotta get myself in character here.
I think we have a consensus on that.
Yes. He's going to step forward, not like he's not less step forward and more just like put himself at the front of the group. He's not walking towards the guy with the gun. He's just going to look around and say, this is quite possibly the worst place you could have drawn that.
You want to roll to intimidate them? Or do you want to follow that up before you roll?
Following up will probably give you better bonuses.
Okay. So what you say, because the other guy's going to like, I should have my own.
Yeah,
maybe, like, we won't say that when I blow the hole in your head. All of you get this impression that these people are not overly bright. This is not especially competent biker squad, is what you get.
Yes. Okay, so to follow up, shit. This is sorry for new character jitters. I apologize. Plus, I'm trying to be quiet because there's people sleeping not too far away. How do you phrase it? If you know anything about us so-called black hats, you would know that if we're here, there's easily 3 more teams within easy shouting distance. Do you really think you'd get out of here if you started something?
What's a black hat?
Well, if there were 3 extra teams, you would have come here when someone's been awakening. But you aren't. You're the only people here.
I'm bluffing, and I have something to help with that.
But not like he's trying to say that you aren't actually bluffing, because the Technocracy probably has 2 more teams coming in, probably.
Yes, but I'm saying like they're right there, ready to fire.
Yeah, but
for all you know.
For all you know, that you're just one squad. But yeah, you can roll for manipulation plus intimidation here to underscore it. Because he's more kind of like nervously saying that. He's not confident.
What is the difficulty then?
The difficulty for this is 6, because, yeah.
Balanced out. Okay. All right. And manipulation of subtle will apply?
that was a subtle threat, so I will let it go.
Okay. Yeah. I'll burn a willpower. What the hell?
It's not been a good day for you and your willpower, hasn't it?
Technically, the others should have happened long before, but yeah, I'm just going with it. This will drop me to willpower 1.
Wow.
Rituals are important. Okay, the 1 takes away a 10, so I get 2 successes, plus I get... Oh, they actually calculate the 1 into that. Cool. And that means 3 successes total with willpower.
Actually, it's wrong because you've done 1 too low. Like, you have to do it at 5 because it doesn't count the 6. So, it still would be...
But just reading it, though, the 1 takes away the 10,
yeah.
So I still have a 6, a 7, and a willpower, so 3 successes.
Yeah, 2 successes. So that's good. Chris says, yeah, the guy is definitely looking a lot more hesitant. Like, he's saying, like, you're bluffing. He says, very, like, totally not sure about that kind of thing. So, but he's not lowering the revolver, but it's going a bit down. He's not lowering it completely or anything. The other guy next to him is going to, like, put, like, his, like, go to his arms and, like, to push up his sweater so you can see even more tattoos. Even one of them is like a Pepper the Frog tattoo, and like he has
Mina loves it. Mina loves it.
He has a Pepper the Frog tattoo, a Cthulhu tattoo, like a upside down cross tattoo. Like, it's really like the really bad skinhead biker stereotype, apparently. At least in the tattoo department.
If that were the case, it wouldn't be Cthulhu. It'd be hello. It'd be Hello Cthulhu.
Maybe.
Cute Cthulhu.
Point is, he apparently did this to be intimidating.
That may have not been the wisest course.
Question: is it a rare Pepe?
It's more like Pepe Jesus. Like, you see, like that's kind of the thing.
Bit disappointing.
Yeah.
For both Mina and for her handler, but
yeah. So the standoff continues. The guy's like, anyway, we got to the guy first, so fuck off.
Excuse me, who got to me? What, when, why, and what is a black hat, and what is all this, and why isn't the police coming because you guys are drawing weapons on each other?
Well, you've only seen one person draw a weapon, technically speaking.
Yeah, he isn't really rational right now. He's trying to avoid getting shot and avoid Mina getting shot. He doesn't really care about the others.
I have a question for you, Carl, and I'm going to send it to you in PM real fast. I apologize. Real fast.
No you would have to get it out of the suit, get it out of the case first and like activate it properly. Like it's on.
My impression was it was sitting in there just waiting.
Yeah, it's in the crate, but you still have to open the crate. Like, it's a pretty durable one. Then get it running and shit. So it's not certain, but maybe if you want to risk
it, he'll probably just lightly he'll cross his arms behind his back, and one finger's gonna tap a few commands into like a little, shall we say, a little wrist device, basically having it go through the boot up sequence just in case.
Okay.
Doesn't have to do it later.
Anyway, so that's great. While that's going on, like the revolver man is going to take 2 steps closer, like, forward. Like, yeah, say, I not so tough now, are you? Saying, really try to convince everyone else but everyone, himself instead of everyone else.
Who's he saying that to?
He's saying that out to the room, like, you're not so tough now, are you? Techno douches. But he's clearly kind of like trying to convince himself.
I'm not scared of 3 sniper teams with guns trained on my head. What an idiot would be. Well, I've had my turn, so if anyone else wants to do something, go ahead. I've got follow-ups, but if other people have plans, go for it.
No, man, you're the backup.
Okay. In that case, he's just going to look around and say, "It would be a shame to actually riddle this place full of holes. If it's a contest you desire for this one, why don't we talk about this out back?"
Okay, so you're trying to convince him to go out to take this in back alley like a man.
Take this outside.
They playing it to their stereotype.
Sure. That could probably maybe work. Roll. This is however, the witness roll is difficult to 7. Difficult to 7.
Is it manipulation subterfuge or?
Yeah, subterfuge in this case. You're trying to convince them, not scare them.
Now, what advantage is perfect liar going to give me?
You're not lying. You're not lying.
Fair enough. I'll make my roll. Difficulty 6, you said?
Yeah, no, 7. Because it would have been 8, but you succeeded in intimidating them first, so they're looking for options.
That is actually a botch.
Fuck you! Like he's going to do a warning shot, and he shoots a lamp, and it's just like it's like glass shards just falling down on the floor. And like you could the other like agents who are like backup try to look really professional, but one of them is just going to say like that's really good, and it's like can't over oh fuck. But yeah, when that happens. Everyone's going to get a bit more jumpy, and now the guns are coming out, and it's very clear that they're outgunned.
But here's the thing: as guns start coming out, I'm just going to raise a hand, like, hold on. Just going to look over, like that. He doesn't say hold on. He's just like wait. It's the general wait gesture.
Yeah.
He's just going to narrow his eyes, look at the guy who fired, who I assume is their leader, who's acting all big and tough and everything, right?
Yeah, probably
okay.
the leader.
Just gonna look at him, then look over at the prospective new recruit, so to speak. Just be like, if you really want to impress this one with how strong you are, do you really think it's wise to just have us walk away? Surely you need to show him how strong you are.
Okay, once again, this is the manipulation subterfuge. Difficulty 8 is the previous botch.
Yeah, because I previously botched. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
If I make another willpower roll, I can't cast magic. But then again, I wasn't planning on using magic at all, so I will use my last willpower. And at this point, it'll be down to everything that's lined up at this point.
Yep.
If 8, what success? Thanks to the willpower.
Well, yeah, the guy is at this point actually kind of like lowering the gun. And taking a step back, like, you have a point there. And at that point, as he's lowering the gun and is clearly kind of like preoccupied, he's going to get shot in the face.
Wait, who got shot in the face?
The leader guy who just now, like an idiot, dropped his gun.
Oh, and by the way, as soon as that happens, tapping the activate and go do your shit button.
Yeah, like the shit, like it was very efficient. Like as that happens, like he just got shot in the face. The other guy's like, "Oh shit!" And then suddenly, like a flash enters the room, and 2 of the guys are now knocked into the ground. And where you can describe your own thing, really.
As soon as
the 2 mind effect people are knocked down. They're not knocked out, but they're knocked down, and the third guy is not just being kicked in the nuts.
As soon as he hears the shot and someone going down, I keep saying Eric. Rasmus will like do his best to like put himself and Mina on the ground and put himself like over her protectively.
Good instinct.
Mina, for her part, she'll be doing the exact same thing, but with her on top because she's got the special skeleton.
Yes.
And she'll do what little martial arts that she can do to try and protect the guy, because
the ancient martial art of writhing on the ground and trying not to get shot. It's very useful.
Yes.
in all seriousness, Carl, just to make sure that what happened to them was the familiar, right? Just
Yeah, familiar. Yeah.
Okay.
Describe your own familiar is just take it, smack. It's basically just smack into several of them.
Well, its traditional operational procedure is in a situation like this when there are witnesses present is strike, 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 and get the fuck out. So what you guys would probably
like the
see,
only, like no, none of the witnesses see it because
because it doesn't stay.
Yeah, it doesn't stay. You people notice it because it stood still for a second after having knocked the third guy in the dick.
It's almost like an after image. What you saw was something actually fairly small, like it would come up to about a normal person's waist. It was metallic. It was moving incredibly fast. It pretty much just went in, hit the targets, and it was only standing there for another half second or so before it went back to the van. Just
yeah. So the other woman goes like, "Oh, my dick!" It just falls to the ground. The two other guys are like, they're still doing the throaty like, but the other guy, one of them is grabbing his hand out and is twisting it too forward and is being like, and like a snake starts to get out of the tattoo. Like,
shoot him.
Yeah.
That was to the bodyguards, by the way.
Yeah, he gets shot in the face 3 times.
Like, okay, we're not fucking with that mystical shit today.
Before the two other guys could do anything, the rest of the the team are coming forward, and they just pistol whip the shit out of them, grab the unconscious bodies, and go out. While two of the bodyguards go over to the witnesses, and they're holding up what looks like some kind of special card. So yeah, they seem once again kind of distracted by something.
I love those things. Psychic paper. I mean, it basically is.
Yeah. The two more of the engines, which is the remaining ones, are going to go over, not grab, but they're going to be like, hey, come on, we have to go. It's like waving up to Mina and Rasmus and be like, come on, we have to get out of here.
Rasmus stands up, and he has basically seen enough to know that he's definitely not going with the insane bikers. So he's like, yeah, I need to get out of here. Give me a moment, and then he quickly snatches his computer and his bag and tries to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, great choice.
You're going to be led to the van where the two unconscious bikers was taken.
Sorry, Jason, what did you say?
Mina will be going with him. Mina just said, "Yeah, great choice."
Yeah, Julian,
with genuine enthusiasm.
You're probably also coming along, I presume.
Yeah, Julian just looks really, really drained by all this because he was tired when he started this.
And then you dealt with like insane people.
And exactly, it's like, and then someone tried summoning some sort of primitive snake totem or something. I'm just like, no. Take me back to my lab, please.
So you all get into the van, and the van starts driving. And despite the fact, it's actually a very comfortable thing to a van, being a van. A few things are going to pop up on the what's it called, GPS, and it's going to be like, okay, we're taking you to one of the research centers. It's just saying back to you. The appropriate authorities will deal with you then.
You'll probably asked to take a witness statement and everything, and sign forms in triplicate and everything like that. But it's pretty much standard procedure. You'll be okay.
Would one of you care to explain to me what the fuck just happened?
Well, it kind of depends. Have you ever experienced things which may or may not be conducive to modern society?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, you were kind of like, typing away on your computer and everything like that. You kind of noticed that you were probably drawing, shall we say, inspiration from something. Good sir, I think you may have just discovered a new form. Well, I say a new form, it's actually something that's been around for a while, but some people in the world have the ability to understand advanced concepts of advanced concepts of scientific methods. In your case, well, I'm not an expert on that particular school of what we would call enlightened science, but it does seem like you're able to understand probabilities and maybe understand the mechanical aspects, shall we say, of the human mind, or at least the concept of sentience.
Well, I mean, I've had basic biology like everyone else, and I make my living of like out of writing stories. So, I mean, in some case, I hope that I know how the mind works. But I mean, what I just saw in there was that was insane. Some guy shot a snake out of his arm, for fuck's sake.
There's a rational explanation for that, but essentially it boils down to someone who's using that same enlightened science in a manner that is not conducive to the betterment of society as a whole. You might eventually come to understand that as being reality deviance, or as the most simplest way that I would describe it, someone being a jerk with the consensus.
Okay.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the guys, but most of them are like the polygon. This is above their pay grade. So the only people who could actually follow this are probably Rasmus and Julian, in addition to of course. So like you're all driving along. The car is going really quick actually. Technically, none of you are sitting by windows, so you don't notice anything. But eventually, the car stops and like, okay, this is the end of the road, mates. Like the driver says, and he's like, just push the button, and the van doors, the back doors of the van open up, and you're in some kind of parking garage.
Is this one of the constructs I'm familiar with, or?
You've not been here, but based on what you said, it was research. It could either be like the opening hall to the military research center, like the one with like advanced combat and shit, or it could be potentially the one with all the academics. It's not sure.
Okay.
When he steps out, Rasmus looks at the parking garage and says, "Well, I've seen enough movies to know how this is likely to end."
Huh? Is one of the are they parking the vehicle, or are they taking?
And the vehicle's just parked. As you guys are waiting, like the older fellow, the older the old fellow Rasmus is not Rasmus. Fucking names now. Ugh. Sorry. Let me try again. One of the leading supervisors for the New World Order is coming through like the elevator doors of the at the end of the parking garage. Is coming in there like his long like professor hair is like poofed out. It's Henrik Fossa. Henrik, yeah. So yeah, I have a name. You don't know what this is. Anyway, so Henrik is coming in. He's a notable fellow. You all know who he is, except for Rasmus, of course. Coming in like so this is a new guy. He guys and like looks Rasmus up and down as he's walking towards you guys. He's dressed in a pretty nice suit. Except for it's gray. Ignoring the fact that it's a gray suit, it looks pretty okay.
I assume this is the scientist.
Yeah, he's one of the he's one of the prominent. He's more of an academic than a hard scientist, but he's a member of the New World Order of the Ivory Tower faction specifically. Nice. He's the supervisor, so you know who he is.
Mina politely, she smiles and gives a slight wave of the hand.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. All right. Hello. Oh yeah, you too. You're the iterator guys, right? And Gal.
Yes, sir. I'm Mina Watanabe.
Yeah. I remember you. I remember you. I saw the thing. Ah, it looks to like so you're the one. You realize that's there's greater forms of science out there that can shake the foundations of the world. He does the Doc Brown thing for a second. Anyway, but we can take you along here. You can get your real story, and we can give you some proper guidance how to wield inspired science. He doesn't really say that this is an offer. It's more like, that's a thing. Come along.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part because I was laughing so hard. Could you repeat, please?
He basically said, here you can get some guidance and then learn how to wield inspired science. And he says that in a sort of way that this is not really an offer. It's not like, you could do this. It's like, no, you will get some guidance now.
You're gonna do that. He nods and he has this kind of like he's not quite certain what's going on, but he is certain that he's not going back there to those maniacs. So he says, well, I don't know exactly what happened, but I mean, if I could channel this, whatever it was that happened.
He checks his word. Channel is not the right word. Vernacular will come later. He snaps his fingers over at the two of the I keep saying SEAL team by accident. But yeah, we can call them SEAL team. They're SEAL team 666. Anyway, SEAL team 666. He points to two of the guys. So like, bring him along. Points back to the elevator. So he turns to the three, the two of you who are actual people, and you're worth more than one peasant. So what happened out there? I heard just really sudden news, but we got the news that a newly enlightened individual was discovered, and you were sent out to bring them in. So how did it go? Anything untoward happen?
There was some messiness. I do have the ability to recite it off by heart. I do have, and she kind of points to her head. Terabyte size memory.
Okay.
If you want me to offer a formal report, I can upload. Well, I can go to my supervisor and give you an uploaded version of my memory of the events.
You will both report to your supervisors anyway. That's. I'm just asking now, like more in a casual sense, just to get an idea of what's happened, so an idea what.
Okay. Abridged version. Okay, abridged version, sir. We located. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Was it Rasmus?
No, it's Henrik. Oh yeah.
No, she was referring to.
He's been taken along to the elevator now. There's still there.
All right, I'll carry on.
We located Rasmus, and as I was approaching him, this group of reality deviants, as we eventually found them, they came in and they tried to take him away. I was able to stall them for a few minutes before the response team arrived. There was a confrontation and it ended violently, with no casualties on our side.
Oh well. Did it capture anyone, or just and he stops himself to see two of the birdie bikers being carried out? I see. Okay, so that's self-answering question. Yeah. Anyway, rhetorical question. Anyway, okay. So we capture two of them. Good. We will, we'll get them interrogated, and we'll figure out which factions they were. Was there any too blatant reality deviantry going on? Like, did they do anything too vulgar?
There was this one thing, but it didn't manifest. They didn't have time to create the, or at least finish the the attempt at reality deviance, until the team were able to neutralize them.
Excellent. That's the worst thing. The worst thing is when we best case scenario is when we stop them before they get to do anything. Good. I seem to recall that some was any equipment used beyond standard equipment. He's asking both of you now.
Sorry, was he asking if we used any
like if you used anything non-standard, aka did you start throwing around, lasers or something?
Right, Mina. Well, she does have edict memory, so would she recall anything?
Well, you saw the robot thing that kicked him in the nuts. That's not standard equipment.
Yeah, would she know what that is though?
She would assume there's some kind of construct, but she would.
She does. She does have 2 dots in hypertech, if that's of any help. And also some dots in xenobiology.
Yeah, but you would have presumed it's some kind of construct, but you wouldn't. I mean, it's one like one alpha.
All right. So she'll just kind of pipe up. Yes, sir. There was a brief use of a construct, but it was given the present circumstances. It was.
Sorry, I've just asked a question. Somewhere and safely in construct territory. Just.
Well, sorry, you told me that it was a construct.
Yeah, I told. He was awesome.
Different use of the word. Yeah. Yes, I was asking. All
right, sorry, I misheard. Okay, carry on.
No, that was just keep your explanation. Like he was just asking a question.
There was a use of a construct. Very briefly. Again, I will offer the part of my memory which does have that in it for your own brevity.
Yeah, that would be her. We have. Anyway, yeah. So he's an excellent guy. Your supervisor will take care of that in my department. Anyway. Well, if some kind of advanced equipment was used, since you were sent out with the field team, did you bring anything along? Like, I just want to know if have you used any Union resources except for bullets?
No, sir. I wasn't issued any Union equipment for my part.
Yeah, he's asking Julian now. Did you bring any? Did you use any Union resources?
None that were qualified as expended.
Excellent.
That I already had.
Excellent. That's perfect. He going to pull a hand for his hair again and be like, based on your report, you performed this as well as one could have expected. When you're dealing with, when you're dealing with deviants and degenerates and such, sometimes violence is unfortunately required to deal with it. And you perform that task admirably, so he gives you a thumbs up, so to speak. Like, that's good for you. I will surely notify your supervisors about the experience of your report and how you quickly seem to manage to solve the situation.
See, that marks the first time that this character has received praise from his superiors in too long.
Yeah. Pressure it. It's been years since you've gotten proper props. It's going on. Anyway, while still not, unfortunately, don't have the clearance to enter into the construct in this, but I will surely send out some credits when this whole affair is over. I'm going to have to go and integrate the new operative. He slaps himself a second and smiles, and it's like, so Jürgen, I will, of course, transportation will be arranged so you can travel sent back to your relevant front, and good work. He says he's going to turn around and he's going to walk back and take up the elevator. And with that, I think we can end this first very. My goddamn computer. Anyway, fucking douchebag. My computer has been shit all day. It's been shit all day. Anyway, we'll end the scene here before anyone else is getting insane by sounds. So, see you around.